Hi everyone, and welcome back to Point Serve. And what is Point Serve? Point Serve is the first podcast by Crosspoint Church in Beckley, West Virginia. And my name is Vondi, and I am the lead pastor here at Crosspoint. And just let me explain to you a few moments what another podcast that maybe you have so many that you look at, but this is what we're seeking to achieve. What we hope to do is to give you practical information, steps, tips, ideas for followers of Christ who are in positions of leadership, whether it's in a sacred space or in a secular space, wherever God has placed you to be in leadership, to maybe help you begin to recognize and see all that God has for you. What we want to do is to help you improve your leadership abilities, and in the environment where you find yourself, to be able to be one of those leaders that God can really use. And today we're going to start with a quote by General Joseph Franklin. And he said, when it comes to being a leader, what are you doing and why are you doing it? Always has to come into the forefront of where we are. What are you doing and why are you doing it? And I believe that really fits every aspect and every area of leadership. I came across a study that they just asked folks who were on Twitter why they went back to a church, why they would go back a second time. What would be the reason for the second visit? And here are some of the things that they shared. And what they said was, number one, someone had an umbrella waiting for me in inclement weather. The second reason, a member actually invited me out to lunch after church. Third, the kids area had leaders who were friendly and helpful. Number four, there was a time of meaningful prayer. Number five, someone walked us where we were supposed to go. Number six, there was genuine friendliness outside of the standard time when the church is supposed to be friendly. Number seven, people followed up with my prayer requests the next day. Number eight, I loved having the opportunity to speak with the pastor. And number nine, I received a gift at the end of the service. So back to that quote by General Franklin, what are you doing and why are you doing it? In the life of the church, we do our very best in this sacred and faith space to try to influence people to not only know Jesus, but to come back and become a meaningful part of a body of believers. And simple things like what I just read to you. Someone brought an umbrella to me. Notice in all of that, said nothing about the style of music, actually said nothing about the style in which the pastor preaches or how he shares. These were all things that touched people on a very practical level. It was raining, so someone came out and they had an umbrella and they helped me get inside the building. People say, I struggle with how to serve. About anybody can catch when it's raining and carry an umbrella. Yet again, what are you doing and why are you doing it? If you are carrying an umbrella to help someone, if you're carrying an umbrella to help them get into the building and have a better experience while they're there, no better reason than that. They said somebody invited me to lunch. They took some time. We've talked numerous months about people being lonely and the struggles that they have and the things that go on in their lives, just to take somebody to lunch. What a powerful impact that can be. They said that the kids' leaders were helpful and they were friendly. I have to admit, there are sometimes when you're down the kids area, depending on what church you're in, a lot of stuff goes on, a lot of activity, a lot of movement can happen. And sometimes it's easy to miss just how valuable it is to be friendly and to be helpful, especially to those who are there for the first time. They said a meaningful time of prayer. We know in our culture that prayer is so vital. Prayer is the absolute very best thing you can do for anybody. And so as you are thinking about what you're doing, why you're doing it, understand that in church space, a meaningful time of prayer really touches people's hearts. Another one was, someone walked me where I need to go. One of the struggles we have in church life is we know where everything is. We know where the bathrooms are. We know where the kids area is. We know where the teenager area is. We know where the Sunday school classes are. We know where the coffee area is. We know all of those things. But brand new people don't. And if you as a person in the life of a church and you're serving or you're not serving in that area, if you will walk them where they need to go, it is so much better for them to be escorted than it is take your finger and point where you want them to go. Another thing that they said was so important is that people were friendly. One of the things that we hear about Crosspoint is that people are friendly, that people are kind to those that come in, especially those that are new. And we're learning how to talk to them. We've even given the congregation some lines to utilize when somebody is new so that they're able to have that conversation starter. So many times it's that first sentence that makes it so hard to talk to somebody you don't know. Maybe where you are, you can create something like that. Here at Crosspoint, if you don't know somebody, our line is this: how long have you been coming to Crosspoint? How long have you been coming to Crosspoint? And they'll tell you if it's their first day, and then that guides the conversation. Or if they've been here 2 or 3 weeks, or in some cases 6 months, and you've not gotten around to meeting them, then you get to say, well, I don't know where I've been in the last 6 months. I sure have missed getting to talk to you. And then you begin the conversation. But that, how long have you been coming, opens up the door for them to be able to answer in a way that leads you to the next step in the conversation. Following up. This is something every congregation struggles with. All of us struggle with the right way to follow up. How much is too much? How much is not enough? Who wants a text? Who needs a phone call? All of the different things that go along with that. But what we need to understand is how valuable that is. And then they said, I get to talk to the pastor. As a pastor, I don't think there's anything really special about me. We've got some great staff folks here who they're a lot more important in some areas than I ever am. Yet for some reason people really like that. I only know of a few places where people don't get to talk to the pastor, or the pastor and the congregation don't let that happen. But I know here we do our very best to get to meet people and learn who they are and have a conversation with them. And lastly is I got a gift at the end of the service. Just something small, nothing major, maybe $4 or $5. Yet in that giving of a gift, it lets them know you're looking for them, you're expecting them. What are you doing? And why are you doing it? General Franklin asks that question. And when it comes to getting people to come back, when it comes to getting people to come back to the building where you are and what's going on around you, so that they can be a part of it, so that they can be a part of what God is doing right where you are. Never underestimate those small things, those little things, the things that, again, they're not big, but they are so valuable and so important at this moment. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? That helps us to remember that all of those small things mean so much to the people that we come in contact with. Thank you so much today for tuning in to Point Serve. If you found something out that you learned today, press that like button for us. We sure would appreciate that on YouTube if you could do that for us, and recommend the podcast to a friend. Recommend it to somebody that you think it might be able to help them, because we are trying our best to grow the podcast and to get things out there. Today, Point Serve is produced by Mike Smith in coordination with Crosspoint Church, and we thank him for all the work that he does to make this happen. Again, my name's Vondi, and I am the lead pastor here at Crosspoint. Thank you today for tuning in to Point Serve. Have a terrific rest of the day.